In this lesson, we are going to learn about real numbers, complex numbers, modulus of a real number, properties of modulus of a real number, ordered set, and bounded sets. Real numbers. Before learning about real numbers, let us learn about the natural numbers, the whole numbers, the integers, the rational numbers, and the irrational numbers. First of all, we learn about natural numbers. We know that 1, 2, 3, 4, so on are defined as natural numbers which are used for the purpose of counting of objects. We denote the set of natural numbers by the letter n. Actually, we define analytically the set of natural numbers as follows. Let S be a set if 1 belongs to S, x belongs to S, implies x plus 1 belongs to S. Then we define the set as the set of natural numbers. Here S becomes n. Because in S 1 is there, whenever x is there, x plus 1 is also there. So whenever 1 is there in S, 1 plus 1 will be there in S. That means 2 will be there in S. Whenever 2 is there in S, 2 plus 1 will be there in S. That means 3 will be there in S. Like that 1, 2, 3, so on. All natural numbers will be in S. So that S becomes n. The set of whole numbers. After the discovery of 0 by Indians, the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so on are defined as the whole numbers. The set of whole numbers is denoted by the letter W. Hence, W is equal to set of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so on. We observe that every natural number is a whole number. Hence, that a set of natural numbers is a subset of the set of whole numbers, that is n subset W, because natural numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on. Whole numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so on. So that every natural number will be a whole number. The set of integers. When Brahmagupta, an ancient Indian mathematician, introduced the concept of the negative numbers, the integers came into exist. The numbers so on to minus 5, minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so on are defined as integers. The set of integers is denoted by the letter Z or by the letter I. The set of integers is denoted by the letter Z because in German language Zahlen means a number. So in the word Zahlen, the first letter Z taken to denote the integers. We observe that every natural number and every whole number is an integer, because integers are negative numbers, 0 and natural numbers. So that every natural number is an integer, every whole number is an integer. Hence, the set of natural numbers, the set of whole numbers are subsets of the set of integers. That is n subsets of Z, W subset Z. As n subset W as well as W subset Z, we can say n subset of W and W subset of Z. When we consider the equation of the form of the type 2x equal 3, it has no solution in n, W and Z, because no natural number, no whole number, no integer satisfy 2x is equal to 3. When you multiply any natural number or any whole number or any integer with 2, you can't get 3. Hence, the numbers of the form p by q are introduced where p, q are integers and q is not equal to 0, because division of any number divided by 0 is not defined. The numbers of the form p by q where p by pq are integers and q is not equal to 0 are defined as rational numbers, or they are also called as quotient numbers. The set of rational numbers is denoted by the letter q. We define the rational numbers more precisely as the numbers of the form p by q where pq are integers, q is not equal to 0 and the greatest common divisor of pq is 1, that is parenthesis of pq equal to 1. Because when you consider the number rational number 5 by 10, the GCD of 5 10 is 5, but when you simplify 5 by 10 you will get 1 by 2. The GCD of 1 and 2 is 1. So rational numbers means which are in the form of p by q, pq are integers, q not equal to 0, and GCD of pq is also 1, because whenever a rational number is given we take its simplified form, that is q is equal to p by q such that pq belongs to Z, q is not 0 and GCD of pq equal to 1. Example: 3 by 4, 7 by 8, 10 by 9, so on are rational numbers. because they are in p by q form and q not equal to 0, and GCD of p q is 1. Natural numbers, whole numbers, integers are rational numbers with denominator 1. Because if you take a natural number 10, 10 is equal to 10 by 1, which is a rational number. Suppose you take a whole number 0, 0 equal to 0 by 1, which is a rational number. If you take an integer minus 5 is equal to minus 5 by 1, which is a rational number. Hence all natural numbers, whole numbers and integers are rational numbers. Hence the set of natural numbers, the set of whole numbers and the set of integers are subsets of the set of rational numbers, that is n subset q, w subset q and z subset q. The set of irrational numbers, the numbers which can be expressed in the form of which cannot be expressed in the form of p by q, where pq belongs z, q is not 0 and pq equal 1, are called irrational numbers. The set of irrational numbers is denoted by q dash or q power c. Now q dash is equal to x such that x is not equal to b by q, where pq are integers, q not 0 and GCD of pq is equal to 1. Actually, irrational numbers came into exist by the equations like x square equal to 3, x square is equal to 2, x square is equal to 5, because there is no rational number which satisfies the equation x square equal to 2 or x square equal to 3 or x square equal to 5, so on. So in that situation, irrational numbers were came into existence. Example root 2, root 3, root 5, pi e, so on are examples of irrational numbers, because we cannot express them as p by q, where pq belongs to, of course, q not 0 and GCD of pq equal to 1. We observe that rational numbers can be written as decimal numbers. Some rational numbers are terminate decimal numbers and some rational numbers are non-terminate decimal numbers which are recursive. For example, 1 by 4 is a rational number is equal to 0.25, which is a terminate decimal number, and 1 by 9 which is 0.1111, so on, which is non-terminate decimal number, but it is recursive because 1 is repeating always. Hence we can define the irrational numbers as the numbers which are neither terminate decimal numbers nor recursive non-terminate decimal numbers. This sentence means you take a rational number either that is terminate decimal number or non-terminative recursive decimal number. So irrational number is ultimately neither terminate decimal number nor recursive non-terminate decimal number. Example 3.265389721086321, so on, is an irrational number as it is neither terminate decimal number nor recursive non-terminate decimal number. The set of real numbers, the rational numbers, the irrational numbers together are defined as real numbers. A real number can be a rational number or an irrational number, but cannot be both. We can write r is equal to q union q dash or q union q power c. We can also write q dash as r minus q. We can also write q as r minus q dash. As every rational number and every irrational number is a real number, the set of rational numbers, irrational numbers are subsets of R. That is q subset R, q dash subset R. As n subset W, subset Z, subset Q, we can write n subset W, subset Z, subset Q, but Q is subset R. So Q subset R also included. Q dash is disjoint set with Q, that is Q intersection Q dash is empty set. A number cannot be a rational number and irrational number. A number cannot be both rational and irrational. Now we go to complex numbers. The numbers of the form a plus bi are defined as complex numbers. I equal plus or minus root minus 1. The complex numbers came into existence when you consider the equation x square plus 1 equal to 0. When you take x square plus 1 equal to 0, it means x square equal to minus 1. But the square of any real number cannot be negative. So x square is equal to minus 1 is impossible for any real number x. So mathematicians imagined a number I which satisfies x square equal to minus 1. So I square equal to minus 1, I is equal to plus or minus root minus 1. The set of complex numbers is denoted by the letter C, C equal to a plus bi such that ab belongs to R. Example 2 plus 3i minus 3 plus 5i, 3 by 2 plus 7 by 3i are all complex numbers. Subsets of the set of complex numbers. Before learning about subsets of the set of complex numbers, let us learn real and imaginary parts of a complex number. In a plus bi, a is defined as real part of a plus bi and b is defined as imaginary part of a plus bi. Generally, a complex number is denoted by the letter z. Every real number is considered as a complex number with imaginary part 0. Suppose you take 3 by 2, it is a real number. You can write it as 3 by 2 plus I into 0, which is a complex number. So every real number is a complex number. Therefore, the set of real numbers R is a subset of the set of complex numbers C. N, W, Z, Q, Q dash are subsets of R, but R is a subset of C. Hence, N, W, Z, Q, Q dash are also subsets of C. So C is the superset of all the sets N, W, Z, Q, Q dash, R, the set of even integers, set of odd integers, the set of prime numbers, so on. So now very important concept in real number system, that is modulus of a real number. For a real number x, modulus of x is denoted by a vertical line, x another vertical line, and defined as modulus of x equal to x if x is positive, and minus x if x is negative, and 0 whenever x equals 0. Example, 5 is greater than 0. 5 is a positive number, so its modulus is itself. Mod 5 is 5. Minus 7 is a negative number, so mod minus 7 is equal to minus of minus 7, minus of that number, that is plus 7. So modulus of a positive number is positive, modulus of a negative number is also positive, modulus of 0 is 0, obvious. So modulus of every real number is always non-negative, that is mod x greater or equal to 0. We may observe mod x equal to maximum of x comma minus x, because if you take mod minus 10, which is maximum of minus 10 comma minus of minus 10, maximum of minus 10 comma 10, which is 10. Mod x is also taken as root x square, because the root of a number is taken always positive. Mod x whole square is x square, which is obtained from mod x equal to root x square. When you square both sides mod x equal to root x square, you will get mod x whole square equal to x square. So we have a very important theorem here. Mod x greater or equal to 0 for all x belongs to R. Mod xy equal to mod x into mod y for all xy belongs to R. Mod of x plus y less than or equal to mod x plus mod y for all xy belongs to R. The third one is called triangle inequality. You know, in a triangle the sum of two sides is always greater than the third side. By that it is named as triangle inequality. So proof, x belongs to R whenever x is positive, mod x is equal to x by definition. X greater than 0 implies mod x is also greater than 0, because here x is equal to mod x. X belongs to R and x equal 0 implies mod x equal 0 by definition of mod x. X belongs to R, x negative means mod x equal to minus x by definition. But whenever x is negative, minus x is positive. But mod x equal to minus x here, and minus x is positive, so mod x is positive. So by the above discussion, we say mod x is either greater than 0 or equal 0 for all x belongs to R. This completes the first one. For the second one, we have different cases. Let xy belongs to R. Let x is positive, y is positive, so mod x equal to x, mod y equal to y. So ultimately mod x mod y equal to x into y. But x is positive, y is positive, xy is positive, so mod xy is itself, mod xy is equal to xy. So mod xy is equal to xy, mod x into mod y also xy. So mod of xy equal to mod x into mod y whenever x is positive, y is positive. Next you take x is positive, y is negative. Whenever x is positive, mod x is x. Whenever y is negative, mod y is minus y. It implies mod x into mod y equal to x into minus y. Of course, this is minus x into y. But now x greater than 0, y less than 0, xy is negative. Whenever xy is negative, mod xy is equal to minus xy by definition. Therefore, mod xy is minus xy. But mod x mod y also minus xy. So mod of xy equal to mod x mod y whenever x is positive, y is negative. Let x is negative, y is negative where xy belongs to R. Therefore, whenever x is negative, mod x is minus x, y is negative, mod y is minus y. Multiply these two, mod x mod y equal to minus x into minus y. Mod x mod y is mod x into mod y equal to x into y. But whenever x is negative, y is negative, x into y is positive. So mod xy equal to xy. So mod xy is xy, mod x into mod y also xy. So that mod xy equal to mod x into mod y whenever x is negative and y is negative. So that is third one. Last case, let x negative and y positive, where xy belongs to R. Whenever x is negative, mod x is minus x. When y is positive, mod y is y. Multiply these two, mod x into mod y equal to minus 6 into y. So mod x mod y minus xy. But x is negative, y is positive. So xy is negative. So mod xy equal to minus xy. So you observe mod x into mod y is minus xy. Mod of xy also minus xy. So mod xy equal to mod x into mod y for x negative, y positive. So by all the above cases, we have mod xy equal to mod x into mod y for all xy belongs to R. Now the very important one, triangle inequality. For xy belongs to R, we have to prove mod of x plus y less than or equal to mod x plus mod y. This is called triangle inequality. X belongs to R, x is positive means minus x is negative. So minus x is negative, x is positive, ultimately minus x less than x. Minus x is less than x, but whenever x is positive, mod x equal to x, you replace x by mod x in minus x less than x. So minus x less than mod x. This is fifth equation. Whenever x belongs to R, x is equal to 0, mod x equal to 0. Therefore, here mod x and x both are same. Of course, mod x and minus x also same, because x 0 means minus x also 0. This is sixth equation. Whenever x belongs to R, x is negative, mod x is equal to minus x. X negative means minus x is positive. X negative minus x positive. So x less than minus x. But minus x means mod x. So x less than minus x becomes x less than mod x. So because x less than 0 means mod x is equal to minus x. This is seventh equation. You observe three equations. Fifth equation, what? Minus x less than mod x. Sixth equation, mod x equal minus x. Seventh equation, x is less than mod x. By 5, 6, 7, minus x less than or equal to mod x and x is less than or equal to mod x, means you multiply minus x less than or equal to mod x with minus x greater or equal to minus mod x. Next, x is less than or equal to mod x. So minus mod x less than or equal to x. X greater or equal to minus mod x means minus mod x less than or equal to x, but x is less than or equal to mod x. Therefore, minus mod x less than or equal to x less than or equal to mod x, eighth equation. Replace x by y minus mod y less than or equal to y less than or equal to mod y. Add these two equations, 8 and 9. Minus mod x plus minus mod y less than or equal to x plus y less than or equal to mod x plus mod y. So minus mod x plus minus mod y less than or equal to x plus y less than or equal to mod x plus mod y. Therefore, minus of mod x plus mod y less than or equal to x plus y less than or equal to mod x plus mod y. We can say from this equation that mod of x plus y less than or equal to mod x plus mod y, because whenever x lies between minus a and plus a, mod x is less than or equal to a. Here x means x plus y, a means mod x plus mod y. Next theorem. If xy are two real numbers and y not equal to 0, then mod of x by y is mod x by mod y. We can say modulus of quotient of two numbers equal to quotient of their moduluses. We can say like that. Proof. Given that xy belongs to R and y not equal to 0, let x is positive, y is positive. Therefore, xy is positive. Therefore, mod x by y is equal to x by y. Because whenever x greater than 0, mod x equal to mod x. Whenever x greater than 0, y greater than 0. Ultimately, x by y positive. So, mod x by y is x by y. X positive means mod x x. Y positive means mod y y. Therefore, mod x by y is equal to mod x by mod y. So in starting step, we have mod x by y equal to x by y. You replace right hand side x by mod x, and in the denominator y by mod y, you will get mod of x by y equal to mod x by mod y. This is equation number 10. This is the first case, x positive, y positive. Second case, x positive, y negative. Therefore, x by y negative. By definition of modulus, mod of x by y equal to minus x by y. So I wrote the reason in the bracket. X negative means mod x equal to minus x. Y negative means mod y is minus y. So minus x by y can be written as minus x means mod x. But here what we did is minus x by y is written as x by minus y. So minus x by y equal to x means here x is positive, so x means mod x, y negative here, so minus y means mod y. So minus x by y is mod x by mod y. But in starting we got mod of x by y equal to minus x by y, but minus x by y is mod x by mod y. So that mod of x by y equal to mod x by mod y. This is 11th equation. Now third case, x negative y positive. So again x by y is negative, mod of x by y is minus x by y, because x negative means mod x equal to minus x. X negative means mod x equal to minus x, but here y positive, mod y is equal to y. So we have mod of x by y is equal to minus x by y in the third step. In place of minus x write mod x, in place of y write mod y. So mod of x by y equal to mod x by mod y. This is 12th equation. Now we are in the last case, x negative y negative, therefore x by y is positive. So mod of x by y is equal to x by y, because x by y is positive. Because x is positive means mod x equal to x. Whenever x is negative, mod x minus x, y is negative means mod y minus y, divide mod x by mod y equal to minus x by minus y. Therefore mod x by mod y is x by y. But mod x by y is also x by y. Mod x by mod y also x by y. So mod of x by y equal to mod x by mod y. This is the fourth case. So by all the four cases, we can tell mod of x by y equal to mod x by mod y whenever y is not 0. Oh, one more case also there. X 0 and y is any real number. So y is not equal to 0, because we are considering mod of x by y whenever y is not 0. Whenever x 0, y is any real number, x by y is 0. So mod x by y is mod 0 0. We can write mod of x y equal to 0 by mod y. So mod of x by y equal to 0 can be written as mod 0 by mod y. But x is 0, so mod x equal to mod 0. So mod 0 equal to mod x. So mod of x by y equal to mod x by mod y. This is 14th equation. So by all the 5 cases, we say mod of x by y is equal to mod x by mod y for all x y belongs to R, whenever y is not equal to 0. We have a simple note, mod x is equal to minus mod x, because mod x equal to x if x is positive, minus x if x is negative, 0 is if x equal to 0. Replace x by minus x in above. We get mod of minus x equal to minus x if minus x positive, minus of minus x if minus x is negative, 0 if minus x equal to 0. Hence mod of minus x equal to minus x if minus x positive means minus of minus x is negative, means x negative. So mod minus x equal to minus x if x is negative, minus of minus x means x. If minus x negative means x positive, and 0 if minus x 0 means 0 if x equal to 0. Therefore mod minus x equal to x if x is positive, minus x is if x is negative, 0 if x equal to 0. So mod x, mod minus x both are same here. Then therefore mod minus x equal to mod x, therefore mod x equal to mod minus x. So modulus of x is modulus of minus x. Actually mod x is taken as the distance of x from 0. So distance of x from 0 and distance of minus x from 0 both are same. So in that situation also mod x is equal to mod minus x. Note, mod of x minus y also less than or equal to mod x plus mod y, because mod x minus y can be written as mod of x plus of minus y, which is less than or equal to mod x plus mod minus y by triangle inequality. We have mod of x plus y less than or equal to mod x plus mod y, but mod minus y is nothing but mod y. Hence mod x minus y less than or equal to mod x plus mod minus y. Therefore, mod of x minus y less than or equal to mod x plus mod y, because mod x is equal to minus mod of minus x, means mod y equal to mod of minus y. In place of mod of minus y, we can write mod of y. Okay. One more theorem, mod x minus y greater or equal to mod x minus mod y when x, y are real numbers. You can write mod x as mod of x minus y plus y, because y cancel means again x. You can write this as less than or equal to mod x minus y plus mod y, since by triangle inequality. So here apply triangle inequality by substituting x minus y as x, y as y. Mod of x plus y less than or equal to mod x plus mod y. This is triangle inequality. In this we have taken x as x minus y as y. So mod of x minus y plus y less than or equal to mod of x minus y plus y. Hence mod x less than or equal to mod of x minus y plus mod y. You send mod y to left side. Mod x minus mod y less than or equal to mod of x minus y. This is first equation. Now do the same thing for modulus of y. Modulus of y can be written as mod of y minus x plus x. Whenever x cancel, y will be there. So mod y equal to mod of y minus x plus x less than or equal to mod of y minus x plus mod x, as earlier by triangle inequality. So mod y is equal to mod of y minus x plus x less than or equal to mod y minus x plus mod x. So mod y less than or equal to mod of y minus x plus mod x. So you send mod x to left side, mod y minus mod x less than or equal to mod of y minus x. Take minus common, minus of mod x minus mod y less than or equal to mod of minus of x minus y. So minus of mod x minus mod y less than or equal to mod x minus y, because mod of minus x mod of x is same. So mod of minus of x minus y mod of x minus y is same. From equations 1 and 2 we get plus or minus of mod x minus mod y less than or equal to mod x minus y. Because you see the equation 1, what we got, mod x minus mod y less than or equal to mod x minus y. In equation 2, minus of mod x minus mod y less than or equal to mod x minus y. So we get plus or minus mod x minus mod y less than or equal to mod x minus y. But plus or minus mod x minus mod y means mod of mod x minus mod y. So mod of mod x minus mod y less than or equal to mod x minus y. So this is about modulus properties. Now we go to ordered set. A set is said to be an ordered set if it satisfies the following properties, which are called as ordered axioms. Whenever here we are taking S as a set, whenever AB belongs to S, then any one of the following must be true. Either A less than B, or A equal to B, or A greater than B. This is called the law of trichotomy. Whenever you take two numbers, either the first number is less than the third number, or the both numbers equal, or the first number is greater than the second number. So second one, if ABC belongs to S and A less than or equal to B less than or equal to C, then A less than or equal to C, and A greater or equal to B greater or equal to C, then A greater or equal to C. This is called transitive law. We learned transitive law in relations also. The third law is whenever ABC belongs to S, A less than or equal to B, A plus C must be less than or equal to B plus C, and whenever A greater or equal to B, A plus C greater or equal to B plus C. And the fourth law, ABC belongs to S whenever C is greater or equal to 0, whenever A less than or equal to B, AC less than or equal to BC, whenever C less than or equal to 0 and A less than or equal to B, then AC greater or equal to BC. Whenever C is negative number, the less than or equal to become greater or equal to, we have to observe. It is easy to verify that N, W, Z, Q, Q dash and R are ordered sets as they satisfy all the order axioms. The set C of complex numbers is not an ordered set, because if you take any two complex numbers z1 z2, we cannot say either z1 z2 or z2 less than z1 or z1 equal to z2. Whenever you take z1 z2 two complex numbers, you can't say either z1 less than z2 or z2 less than z1 or z1 equal to z2. For example, if z1 is equal to 1 plus I, z2 equal to 2 plus 3I, then we cannot say which is bigger or both are equal. Both are never equal, z1 and z2, of course. We can't say even z1 less than z2 or z2 less than z1. Therefore, the set of complex numbers does not satisfy the order axiom, so it is not an ordered set. The set of complex numbers is not an ordered set. field. Definition: a non-empty set with two operations plus a dot is said to be a field if it satisfies the following properties. The first one is a plus b belongs to S for all a b belongs to S, that is plus is a binary operation. The second one, a plus of b plus c equal to a plus b of plus c for all a b c belongs to S. This is called associative law with respect to addition. There exists 0 belongs to S such that a plus 0 equals 0 plus a equal to a for all a belongs to S. This is called identity law with respect to addition. Here 0 is defined as additive identity. There exists minus a belongs to S such that a plus minus a equal to minus a plus a equals 0. Here minus a is defined as additive inverse of a. It is called inverse law with respect to addition. The fifth one, a dot b equal to a dot b belongs to S for all a b belongs to S. This is called dot satisfied binary operation, here we say. Next, sixth law, a dot of b dot c equal to a dot b dot c for all a b c belongs to S. This is called associate law with respect to addition. Seventh, there exists one belongs to S that one belongs to S such that a dot 1 equal to 1 dot a equal to a. This is called identity law with respect to multiplication. Here 1 is called identity. For any a not equal to 0, there must exist x belongs to S such that a into x equal to x into a equal to 1. Here we say x is multiplicative inverse of a. This is called multiplicative inverse law or inverse law with respect to multiplication. The ninth one is a dot b equal to b dot a, which is a commutative law under multiplication. The last two law is distributive laws. A dot b plus c equal to a dot b plus a dot c, b plus c dot a equal to b dot a plus c dot a. So if these 10 laws are satisfied in a set, then that set is called field. So we know that Q and R are all fields. N is not a field because 0 not there in N, such that a plus 0 equals 0 plus a equal to a for all a belongs to N. W is not a field because for a belongs W, there is no minus a belongs to W, such that a plus minus a equal to minus a plus a equals 0. Z is not a field because whenever a not equals 0 and a belongs to Z, we can't find x such that a into x equal to x into a equal to 1. Suppose 2 is an integer, you can't find 2 into x equal to x into equal to 2 equal to 1. You can't find x such that 2 into x equal to x into 2 equal to 1. The set of rational numbers Q is a field as it satisfies all the properties. R also field, of course. Q dash is not field because 0 not there in Q dash. N, W, Z are ordered sets but not fields. They are not fields. Ordered field. A field which also satisfies order axioms. A field which also satisfies ordered axioms is defined as an ordered field. Here N, W, Z, Q dash are not ordered fields because they are not fields. Because N, W, Z, Q dash are ordered sets only, they are not fields. Q dash is not field because 0 does not belong to Q dash such that a plus 0 equals 0 plus equal to a, where a belongs to Q dash. C is not an ordered set but C is a field as it satisfies all the properties of the field. Therefore C is not an ordered field because it is not an ordered set. But R is ordered field. R is ordered field. R is a field as R satisfies all the properties of a field. R also satisfies ordered axioms, hence R is an ordered field. We conclude that N, W, Z, Q dash are ordered sets but not fields. Therefore N, W, Z, Q dash are not ordered fields. C is not an ordered set. C is only field. Therefore C is not an ordered field, but R, Q are ordered fields. So among the sets N, W, Z, Q, Q dash, R, C, only R, Q are ordered fields. Okay, so we continue upper bounds and bounded above sets in the next class. So we learned up to ordered field. Thank you.